and welcome to Live with OCC. I'm your host, Jeanette Berry, and today I have two wonderful ladies that I know both of them personally, and we are community partners together. I have Amber Jackson, Blitz Optical, and Dr. J. Ray Berry, RJ Berry. RJ Berry, which we don't know if we're related. We could be. Well, I've been knowing her for like over 20 years.
20 years.
Yes. So they're gonna let you know what they're doing in the community, and we're just gonna chit chat. Welcome, Amber. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate being here with you all.
And first, I'm just so proud of you.
Oh, thank
and
you.
Congratulations. I seen your article and I seen your clip on Fox 4 last night.
Yeah, we were recently awarded a grant from the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, and our goal was to take that fund so that we can actually purchase the machine so that we can cut lenses ourselves, which I'm sure we'll talk about more later in the segment. But it has helped us tremendously in serving the community with product faster.
Okay, and two, you have some of your glasses, the frames here. Can you explain to the people?
Yeah, so Blitz Optical is a luxury mobile concept. That's how we keep the costs down. We travel to clients. A lot of my clients are working, busy professionals that don't have a lot of time in their day, or they may be bound to their house. They may have limited mobility, or they just don't have a lot of time. Maybe it's a mom that has 3 kids and she doesn't want to haul everybody up in the car to go look at glasses. So we come to your home, your office, or meet you at your local coffee shop, wherever you feel comfortable, and you are able to get a more one-on-one experience at a fraction of the cost, because we don't have the overhead of a building. And so we kind of combine convenience and luxury together to create this dynamic concept.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Beard?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I want to thank you, Jeanette, for giving me this opportunity to, again, be with you, meet someone new, Miss Amber, and to just kind of talk about what I've been doing in the last few years. You know, we've known each other for a long time.
Yes.
So after I retired from the Dallas Independent School District after 30 years, I started writing. Didn't know I was going to do that before, but these stories and these books, they just come to me, and all of my books are based on actual events and people. They're Christian based, and I write about faith, family, and friendships. And my latest book, The Health Chronicles, details my journey of being a caregiver for my family. You know, I have 2 degrees, but neither one of them are in caregiving. And you don't go to school to become a caregiver. You don't have courses that you can take to become a caregiver. You just kind of thrust in that situation. And a lot of people, you know, can relate to what I write about, but it's my journey being a caregiver for my family, my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, well, both of my brothers, my grandmother, and even the family dog. So it's, you know, you just don't realize what caregiving entails until you're just kind of put in that position. But on the cover of my book, I kind of covered, you know, everything that's involved that you don't think about when you become a caregiver. First of all, you know, it's a family. You start with the family. And you have to have transportation. You have to have a way to get around to doctor's appointments and whatever. And you can't do anything without the Word. The Lord. And Psalms 91 is our family scripture. So my mother had this open in her bathroom, you know, day in and day out. She had crinkle pages from the moisture in the bathroom, but we started everything with prayer. I think my phone was programmed to 911 because inevitably every month or twice a month I would have to call 911 for my mother or my father to have to take them to the hospital. And believe it or not, it's costly. Being a caregiver is costly. And it comes out of your pocket, and it's something that you don't think about until you are put in that position. But you do it all with love. You know, there was not a day that I would trade of having to take care of my family. So this book highlights my journey and just kind of highlights, what a person can expect when they become a caregiver. And it doesn't end. It doesn't end. Now, my mother passed in 2017. My father passed in 2018. My oldest brother passed in 2010, but I was involved in his caregiving, but not like my parents. And after my mother died, I couldn't grieve because my father was still sick. He was bedridden, and I had to take care of him. So I could not grieve. So my father passed in 2018, and I thought, oh gosh, this is a story.
Mhm.
And people can relate to this story. So I just started putting my thoughts.
And
I wrote it down. And I still had my sister and my brother. And one of the things that I talk about in this book is before my mother passed, she sat me down one day and she said, Renita, when I'm not here anymore, she didn't say die. She said, when I'm not here anymore, you're going to have to look after your brother and your sister. And I made a joke out of it. I said, yeah, one is going to jail and I'm putting the other one in the insane asylum. She said, no, I'm serious. She said, and she meant that. I didn't know what she meant. So when she passed and my father passed, I knew. Then I knew. My brother had a bad knee. Had to put him in the hospital. He almost died. My sister got sick. She had to have emergency open heart surgery. I had to take care of her. She was divorced. Her 2 kids were off out of state. So she was my baby. She was a baby sister, and I prayed for her. So I felt like she was more like my daughter than my sister. She passed last October. My brother now is in an assisted living facility. So, and doing all of this, the family dog dies. So I'm in the backyard digging a hole to bury the dog. So you do not realize what you go through and what your role as a caregiver is going to be until you're in it. And there's no prescription, there's nothing, there's no book that I could write to say, this is what you do on day 1, this is what you do on day 2. It's not like that. You just go from day to day to day.
And you wrote this book last year because today you were having your book signing at Pan America.
That is correct. So this book is a year old, but people can relate to this book, and I'm still getting, offers, like from you, to come and talk about this book because it relates to so many different people.
It's so needed.
Yes.
And you saying this, you sell life insurance.
I do.
Oh,
And people do not realize when you're dealing with this, you're not even thinking of what could happen after. You're just focusing on the now.
That is correct.
So with your life insurance, what are you?
Yeah, so,
People need it.
Yeah, and kudos to you for your break career,
thank
telling your
you.
story.
Thank
It's
you.
hard to overcome and share and help people at the same time. So I just appreciate women of color for your strength and vulnerability to have the balance of both. I'm very passionate about financial literacy also within our community. Life insurance is the fastest way to pass generational wealth to your family members or loved ones. And then there's a cash accumulating benefit that we don't really talk about or know about. We normally just say, okay, let me just get this policy so that I have something, so that my family doesn't have to, fry fish and ask the church for money. But there are things that you can do to ensure that your caregivers are able to pull money from cash that has accumulated over the years to help take care of you. There are policies that for like if you become critically ill, like if you get cancer all of a sudden, or they say you only have a few years to live, you can pull that money ahead of time and not just, and absolutely use it. Or for my daughter in particular, though she has death benefits tied to it, I'm really purchasing that policy because I want to give that to her in 20, 25 years. If she wants to put a down payment on a house, if she finds herself in a situation, I don't want her to be dependent on anyone or even have to depend on a bank to loan her money. She can go right to her own policy and borrow from it and pay it back interest free. So there are a lot of things that we can do. We normally say, oh, it's too expensive, or I'll put it off until later. And then later becomes now so quickly. And so I encourage people, there was a time that I had to eat beans and weenies, but I paid my policy.
We came up on insurance. I remember I was like 7, got allowance, and that $4.32 had to be in that insurance book.
Yes,
I mean,
you choose.
So, and I sold insurance, so I know.
Oh, so you know, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it is needed, and people don't even, being a caregiver in insurance, how do they relate? They relate a lot. I mean, you need it,
Exactly, and it's so interesting that you do that because my sister Christy sold insurance.
Wow.
She was adamant about people having health insurance, life insurance, and to the day she died, that's what she was doing. And some of her clients are still calling me. So it is.
Because that was a shock.
It was.
I mean,
it really was.
That was really a shock.
But yes, that's so interesting. But you're right, it's needed very
Yes.
much so.
Yes. So what is your upcoming events? I mean, how can somebody get in touch with you?
Yeah, so they can reach us at blitzopticalonline.com. Even if you don't live in the DFW area, we see clients virtually as well. So we have clients all over the United States. That's free of charge if you want to book a session there. We actually travel to you if you're in a 30 to 40 mile radius from the downtown Dallas. We are currently expanding in Houston, so we travel to Houston once a month. So if you have friends and family that are there, they can certainly DM us or send us a message on Facebook. Our Instagram is at Blitz Optical. One event that we are at constantly every month is at the Credit Union of North Texas, right here in DeSoto, by Charleston Methodist. So we're there every first Saturday of the month. So you can bring your prescription there. We're always running a special as well. And then I'm sure we're going to be partnering and doing some things together.
Yeah, we got the back to school with DPD in August, so you'll be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then too, about your kid program.
Yeah, so if anyone who we take part of our proceeds and put glasses on kids who can't afford it. That's super important to us. So anyone who has a nonprofit organization, up to 100 pairs per organization, we will put glasses on kids for just $40 a pair. That includes the frame, the prescription, and the shipping of the glasses. So for any organization who wants to partner and do something like that, as long as you have your 501c3, please reach out to us. We're happy to help facilitate that.
Okay, and you've been doing a lot, and like I said, I'm so proud of you, and people don't know, you've been doing this for what?
So my daughter will be 18 in September, and she was in my belly when I first got started, when I begged the man for my first job, but I ended up becoming his boss some years later. But I've had my own business now for 5 years, and we do travel all over the U.S., but Texas, Dallas is home, so I'm always privileged and honored to serve the people where I grew up with.
Okay. And when I met her last year, these are mine.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful.
And then too, I am a Cowboys fan, so she had these blue frames, and she was like, blue? I was like, yes. So these are my football season glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta have different glasses.
Yeah, so.
Exactly.
So she came, she picked up my prescription, she brought my glasses back last year, so yes, I do use her product.
Yes,
And
and people can use their HSA and FSA cards with us.
You need to tell them again.
Okay, you can use your HSA and FSA card. You can book us for your job. A lot of people like for us to come and set up in their cafeteria. For your church, we're happy to do that as well. and set up there. And we also do custom tint work. So if you're like, I don't need prescription glasses, we can dye the lenses whatever color you want. All of our lenses are treated and UV coated, so they're not made like cheap sunglasses where the coating is just sprayed on. And we also do blue filter for the computer. So if you're sitting in front of a computer screen 4 to 5 hours a day, you need to get some blue filter lenses, and we're happy to assist with that as well.
See, she does a lot.
Yes.
So, Ms. Amber, do you, if someone has their frames,
Uh-huh.
and their prescription, do you do that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't just work on our own product. If you've got a frame that you absolutely love, we say don't get rid of it. Let's change the prescription on it for a fraction of the cost that it would charge at a regular optical. And then we do free delivery, and we also warranty those lenses.
Okay.
So-
We'll talk after.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
And I mean, for her price, you could almost, I was like, I get 2 pair
Yeah.
for what I normally pay for
I'm
one.
excited. Oh, my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
Excited.
Yes. And you, I'm proud of you. Like I said, we met at the DeSoto Library
We
one
did.
summer,
We did, years ago.
like 19 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We
just
did.
had moved to Dallas, and when I met you in Christie at the library.
I still have that picture.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
we go way back,
Yeah, way
and
back.
they've supported me, and I've supported them. So, and that's what it's supposed to be: supporting each other, bringing resources to people that don't know about the resources. We know there's a lot of caregivers out there, a lot of them. So, where can they purchase your book?
They can purchase my book at Amazon. My Amazon account is amazon.com/author/RJAY Berry, RJ Berry. Or they can email me, info@rjberry.com, and if they want a personalized autograph copy, I will be happy to do that. I mail them all over the United States, so I would be happy to do that. I'm so excited about this book because I wasn't sure when I published it, the reaction that I was going to get, and it has. I have started on 2 more books, but this one keeps calling me for some reason, and I have a speaking engagement next month at Friends Place in DeSoto on Beltline to their caregivers group. And I always find out about another event from one event that I'm at, so I found
That's
out.
how God works.
Exactly, you're absolutely correct. So he is amazing, and he will lead you
Yes.
where he wants you to go. So I'm excited about
And
that.
you're getting calls because a lot of people is going through it. I mean, and when something happens, sometimes we don't have time to prepare. Oh, I need a caregiver, you know, or this family member. So that's why you're getting a lot of calls, because a lot of people going through the same thing,
And they will
and we don't want
continue
to, and we don't want to tell nobody, you know.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not gonna tell.
But this is not an outline of what you're supposed to do. It's
No.
just my story, but we do the same.
At least you can take that and kind of like, okay, I'm going through this. This is what she
Yes.
went through,
Yes.
and this is what
And
I need to
she
do.
made it,
Yes.
and I can make it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Because we're caregiving for a lot of people.
that's true. And it's sometimes it's not even your family
No.
members, it's friends,
Yes.
it's neighbors, you just don't know
Yeah.
what the Lord is going to ask you to do.
We all got a purpose.
Yes, we
And
do.
we just don't know what
Yes.
until he let us know. All right, ladies, anything else we need to talk about?
No, thank you so
Kinda
much
hit
for
on
this
everything.
opportunity.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Miss Jeanette.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes. It's so nice to
Yes.
meet you, Miss
Likewise,
Jeanette.
likewise, and congratulations to the
Thank
success of your book.
Thank you. But let me just say, my next books, there will be a part 2 to this. It will be Christy's story, my sister's. I've already started writing on that, but it's going to take a little while because I'm trying to get her daughters, to a place that they're okay with it. And the one I'm currently working on is called Suddenly God. And it's going to be a compilation of 4 different stories, 4 different individuals. One I have never met, but I've been on her radio, been a person on her radio interview 3 times, and I've never met her. She lives in California.
Okay.
But it will be 4 stories in one book. Suddenly God.
Wow, I love that title.
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty. So again, give your information.
Yes, my name is Amber Jackson of Glitz Optical. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Glitz Optical. You can go to our website, look at some of our products. You see the best of the collection when you see us in person, blitzopticalonline.com, or you can send us a quick text with any of your questions at 214-494-1974.
Thank you again. Thank you.
On Facebook, I'm RJ Berry. You can post me there. My email is info@rjberry.com. You can also Google the Health Chronicles. It will take you directly to my Amazon page. And if you just want to reach out and touch me by phone, my number is 972-689-1368.
All right. Again, thank you for watching Live with OCC, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.